Immediately after, I picked up a load, and the shipper, the receiver, the shipper set my unit, and it broke my equipment. And in turn, I had to make a choice. I had to either let the food rot, a truckload of chicken rot, or to give it to the public. Now, I made the decision to pull up to the Walmart in Marietta and just give all the chicken away for free. Next day, I got all kind of threats from, the police department saying they were looking for me and I had stolen some freight, and that I started becoming fearful that I was going to get arrested and everything. Ended up having to file an insurance claim. They were coming after me for I gave away over $40,000 worth of chicken for free to the public.
Ooh. Good evening, guys. I'm your host, Gene, and I'm welcoming my co-host that I have for the night, Mr. Priest. How you doing?
Man, what's up, my guy?
All right. And that was kind of heartfelt there that a young lady, Miss Highway Diva.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
man. Hate to see a red bone crying. I do,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
But that's one of the sad truths about what we deal with in the trucking industry.
Yeah,
She found out the hard way about just dealing with a claim, and she had a refrigerated trailer, so you have a lot of claims, potential for claims
yeah,
with a reefer compared to a dry van.
yeah.
So basically, so with this young lady, uh she got loaded with this story. She got loaded in Arkansas to pick up a load of chicken,
Uh-huh.
and so with
I
this
wonder if it was at that Tyson over there.
it could have been because Arkansas, northern Arkansas, has a lot of poultry processing plants
Right.
across the state. And Tyson is headquartered in Arkansas,
Yeah.
northwest Arkansas. So it could have been anywhere across the state.
Right. Right.
But from what she said, that the temperature was supposed to be set at -10,
Mm-hmm.
but the person who came out to load her at the shipper loaded it to minus, well, she said -26. I didn't know -26 was a setting. I think the lowest I recall on my reefer unit that it got down was a -22, but I had an old unit, so I don't know, maybe
Right.
the maybe
Right.
one of the new ones got down to -26. But
Right.
she said it got down to -26. Next thing she knows, she heard like an explosion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when she checked on it, saw that it was wrong, and she confronted the person inside the warehouse, and that's when they told her, okay, yeah, I set it the wrong temp. So she set it back to -10, and everything was fine. They got loaded. It wasn't until she was en route to her receiver, which was in Atlanta. It was in Atlanta,
Yeah,
right?
it was somewhere in Georgia. I think it was around in
Yeah.
the Atlanta area. Yeah.
Right. And that's when she said overnight she noticed that, hey, my temp is at 32 degrees,
Mm.
which is like a 40 degree difference if you're set
Right.
at -10,
Right.
and, I don't know of any um, warehouses that would accept that temperature being that far off. I've been to some warehouses that would accept a temperature like Walmart. They might give you
Right.
5 to 7 degrees that you're off before they say we're gonna reject it. You got some place
Right.
they might say 10 or 15
Right.
that
Right.
they'll give you that you're off before they actually decide to reject the product.
Right. She was off by 40 some degrees, right?
Yeah, about 40 degrees, 42 degrees or so is what she
Mm.
was off. Even if you was going to take that food to make it the dog food,
Right.
they don't want it spoiled,
Right.
you
Right.
know. And technically, that wouldn't have been spoiled. But that right there said to me, I believe that was a finished product, because usually a finished product, it's usually at, below zero, minus 10, zero
Right.
degrees, something like that. If it's a fresh product, normally you transport chicken at 26, 28 degrees because they're still processing, you
Oh,
know.
okay. So so the fresh product, you saying that's for they take the head and legs and all that off, and basically transporting them to be quartered up in the leg quarter, thighs, breasts, and all that good
Yeah,
stuff.
see, when I when I was hauling it, I went to a plant to where
Mhm.
you had the chicken trucks come in with the chickens live. I
Right,
take it
right,
out. They slaughter them. They put them in these big, huge bins,
right.
plastic bins with well, they got their totes basically. They put them
Mhm,
in, and the finished product. But the location I used to go to, they would take that chicken up and grind it up to make it into dog food.
mhm,
So it was pretty much whole chickens,
mm.
but again, it was 26 degrees because they were still taking it, they were still processing it. They would
Right,
use it and mix it with other meats, to create that dog food.
yeah,
And so, but yeah, if it's a finished product, generally it's gonna be frozen. Zero,
right,
minus 10. If they're still processing it, they still have other things to do. They want it to be fresh, but not frozen. So about 26, 28 degrees is what you're gonna be running to transport it with.
right. It would be real cool, man, if we could have her on the show just to kind of give us detail to kind of like fill in them points, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we got to get a we've tried to reach out to her. We didn't have a correct email on file for her, and she didn't have a phone number listed. Probably had to reach out to her on social media or something.
Well, just in the comments on on the
On her
page when she had
Instagram.
that video. Not well on
Yeah.
the YouTube, she probably read the comments on there
Yeah,
and
might
probably will
be.
reply back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that pretty much makes you wonder, because she said that, well, I had a lot of questions, but I'm gonna finish up with, the story where she was at. And basically, en route, her unit was at 33 degrees. She
Right.
found a dealer. She has a Thermo King. Found a Thermo King dealer, and they found about $10,000 worth of work that it was going to cost her.
Yeah.
$7,000 to $10,000 worth of work. It was the radiator, and I forgot what the other part, but it totaled out to be about seven to
Fan
ten thousand.
clutch.
Okay,
The
the
other
fan
part of the fan
clutch.
clutch, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, about $7,000 to $10,000 worth of work. And this was after she said she had just got back on the road, because she had put about $45,000 in her truck, right?
Right.
Yeah, she had about $45,000 in repairs to her truck. And so with the repairs to her truck, and
Oh, is that
now
much on the truck? Yeah, I remember she had to put a truck in the shop because
I
because
think
she was down 4 weeks, right?
yeah, I think she rebuilt the engine or so.
Okay.
So that could easily, total up to that. I don't know what other work she did, but
Right.
and then she has a older truck. I think it was a Freightliner Classic. So that
Yeah.
Classic could either
Big
have a
boy.
Detroit.
Big
It can
boy.
either right. So either got a Detroit
She wasn't
in
playing.
that, or she had a C-15 Cat. You know,
Mhm.
if it's that Cat, yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
cost some money to get that fixed.
Yeah. Yeah, cause I had been following her content for a while. She's kind of like, like a trucking vlogger, the
Okay.
thing I like about her that, she's not like a lot of content creators, she gonna tell you her ups and downs. And
Yeah.
just unfortunately, this right here was just a major down that was kind of hard for her to bounce back from in terms of being able to continue on,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I'm
Because
saying, in that industry right there.
right. Yeah. Because, after you done gone through the trouble of getting your truck fixed and you've already been down,
Oh man,
and now
yeah,
you have this problem. Because she said when she got back on the road, she came back to the fuel being higher. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And the rates was kind of
And
kind of wasn't what they were
right.
before.
Right.
Yeah,
So that's already a whole lot. And you got a family to support
yeah.
at the same token. So, hey, but along with being faced with those repairs, now she got to make a decision. Okay, do I keep what I got, what I
Mhm.
have, or do I upgrade?
Yeah.
Do I save the money and get this fixed, or do I go ahead and do an upgrade?
Oh, you talking about when a reefer
With
went
a
down?
reefer, you
Yeah.
know, because she said that she eventually just said, okay, I'm gonna just continue to just use this trailer, you know,
Mm.
uh, as a dry van. So that was another wake up call. She realized I couldn't use this as a dry van, you
So she
know.
did that after she gave the chicken away?
After she gave the chicken away, she was trying to figure
Okay.
out, okay,
You're trying to
what was
use as a dry van.
right,
Okay.
seeing what those
Yeah.
options were. Now I'm pretty sure she came across those options, those ideas when they first told her about the $10,000 repair. This
Right.
was before the chicken was given away,
Right.
you know. So now she's faced with get to the receiver, and the receiver said, "Hey, your unit is out of range. We can't accept that."
Right.
Uh, I'm sure they didn't even pop the seal and open it because, first they look at the temp. If it was a
Right.
Walmart see your temp when you first pull up. A
Right.
lot of places they see your temp. They'll ask you what your temp is. Let's just say they didn't look at the temp and she pulled up to the dock, pop, open the door. If they
Right.
have a temperature recorder in the back of the truck, the trailer, well, they see on the temp recorder, hey, this thing has been logging 30 some degrees for the past however many hours for the past
Right.
day or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, we rejection it. We can't accept it. You know,
Yeah.
so she said that she got in touch, but tried to get in touch with the broker, couldn't reach anyone, and upon trying to reach out to someone and couldn't get anyone, that's when she made the decision to say, "Hey, why not just give this away?" You know, and
Yeah.
so she went to what she went to Walmart.
Yeah. She said she went to a Walmart. I thought she said she went to a Walmart in Marietta.
Okay,
Yeah, but I could be wrong.
yeah, and so you went to a Walmart and it didn't take long, about three 3 hours to clean the truck out, to get that chicken away. No, it wouldn't have took long, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
But
it was just an unfortunate situation because it seemed like to me it should have been just more than her held accountable. If the proper documents were being kept, far as like emailing the broker and stuff. Because I've experienced with that with a lot of these brokers, and
right,
especially when you're dealing with the big ones, they pretty much, I mean, they really a middleman. They're a middleman between you and customer service who actually deal with the shippers.
yeah,
And man, and your equipment being held up, on something like that, and you sitting there, you waiting hours on top of hours for
yeah,
the broker to respond and let you know something. Your truck already done been broke down for weeks. You know what I'm saying? The rates, you know what I mean, are not, in play like they should. So I can understand the anxiety got the best of her.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To where she just thinking like, hey, it's a food shortage anyway. I saw in the video where she was saying it was a food shortage
Right,
at
I
the
remember
time, which it
saying that.
was. They was
Yeah,
talking about that in the news. So, she was thinking, why not give the freight away? But as experienced drivers as we are, we can tell by the decision that she made, that was her first time ever being in a position to where a load got rejected like that,
right,
to where, what I'm saying? I mean, I can't help but to assume that. And
yeah,
yeah, and man, me, the first time that I had a load rejected wasn't a whole load, just a couple of
okay,
pallets. So I mean, in my mind, I'm thinking my next load is a half load anyway. So they take too long. I'm going to get this load and then just
yeah,
push it up in the nose or something. But she had a
right,
whole load of chicken that was
and
gonna have her trailer stanky as you know what I'm saying, as hell. You
mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And it would have prevented her from picking up another load anyway.
Yeah, and technically at 32 degrees, that chicken would have been fine. It wasn't going to spoil. That's just out the range that they were willing to accept it.
Right,
you know,
right.
that. that it would have been fine because I haven't heard about nobody all of Atlanta getting sick because of all that chicken she gave away.
Nah, you
You
ain't gonna hear
know,
that. You ain't gonna hear that. You know? Yeah,
yeah,
you probably done heard of some weight gain.
right.
She,
Yeah,
you know, yeah,
hey, can you
that chicken
imagine?
was fine for a household. Might
Can
not
you
have been
imagine
good for a warehouse.
all of the food trucks and
Yeah,
grills and
man.
bar grills that got a box of that chicken?
Yeah, you better believe it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, so she said that she was faced with a claim, a $40,000 claim from the
yeah,
insurance company. And I'm pretty sure that when she heard that, that probably took the wind out of her.
yeah,
Like how 40,000? How am I gonna pay for this out of pocket? So
yeah,
um I've never had that experience with a claim of that magnitude, because I've always had my paperwork. Not to say she didn't, know have her stuff in order, but I always had my paperwork together to where I was able to kind of avoid some of those big claims
right,
like that, but that $40,000 is what the insurance basically said. So that leaves the shipper to try to be on the hook, the broker and the carrier, because the receiver said I'm not accepting it. So the shipper is already not going to claim that it's their fault because she tried to go back to them about the person who originally set her temp. um I think it was the forklift driver who originally set her temp. She tried to
right,
go back and say, "Hey, you guys are responsible," and they said, "Well, we're not accepting no responsibility for that," because she didn't
right,
think at the time to get anything in writing saying today this is what happened on you guys' property, and she didn't think to get anything in writing because when she left, everything was fine.
right.
Even though she heard an explosion, everything was fine. So, hey, so
I think it was more so about, you know what I'm saying? I can't see it just being a $40,000 claim. I think it was more so the threats of her being jailed,
uh-huh.
being accused of stealing the load, probably destroyed her reputation, just getting the truck out the shop,
Uh,
spending that kind of money. Then she spent money on getting the reefer repairs when she was in the assumption that the shipper was going to be responsible for some of the expense, if not all, since they the one damaged her equipment.
right.
Losing a load because I believe she's from Arkansas.
Oh,
Losing a
okay.
load, you know what I mean? Because she probably had the dead head back home. You
Probably
know,
did.
so when you couple all that right there, the pressure, the anxiety, the headache, and everything, it make you just want to really just kind of just check out
Yeah,
because
I can imagine. Yeah.
yeah, because everything just went south. Because even with the insurance, that's what we pay insurance for. It's so many guys, I mean, look at all the guys that was burning their trucks up when the rates started going down, and the insurance still didn't cancel their policy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I can't see them threatening to cancel her policy. I think it was the litigation, the
Yeah.
the process of waiting to see if they were going to pay the claim. Because see, this happened last year.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I mean? And she just posted a video 4 weeks ago giving an update on what happened. And like I say, I've been following her, and she seems kind of honest about her vlogs. So I'm assuming that this just recently got settled.
right. Yeah, and because that's what I was gonna I was basically speculating it was how much of that 40,000 was the insurance, because I think she said that the load was 40,000 was worth 40,000. So I'm wondering how much of that $40,000 load did the insurance, say, okay, this is what we'll cover, you know.
Right. Well, she had to pay a deductible of some kind, far as like in a situation like that, because she was being so honest about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That the insurance probably was considering, just like saying, "Hey, that's on you. You gave it away."
Right.
That could, you know what I'm saying? I mean, so she probably had to go through some things to
Yeah, I would
get this
imagine.
settled because, you know, if she telling the people who want their money what the insurance is looking into it, and the insurance is giving them bad feedback, they coming back and harassing her and
Right.
want to threat her with charges and all that kind of stuff. So she went through something with that, and
Yeah.
you can see it all in her. You can hear it in her voice. She really went through something with that.
Right. You could tell.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was devastated by it,
yeah,
and but she was able to perform a basically like a community good deed for the community. She gave all the chicken away because generally, what would have happened had she been able to get in touch with the broker? Well, it, she should have, even though she had a hard time getting in touch with that broker, and she was probably really trying to hurry up and get in touch with the broker because maybe she had another load she was waiting
right,
on. And I don't know, I didn't hear her say in the video how long she was actually waiting, but apparently it
right,
had been a while, and they couldn't get in touch with him. But in a situation like that, you would just want to wait on the broker, no matter how long it take. Find other contacts, try to find ways to get in touch with them, and it's their job because they are your middleman. Is their job to get in touch with the shipper. Okay, shipper, this is, what happened. They have to try to facilitate, figure out what's going on. Because generally the shipper got contacts and they'd be upset, they'd be a little pissed, but then they gonna try to find a way to sell it.
right.
Find a maybe can we give it to a farm?
Yep.
How bad is it? Is it a whole not a Whole Foods, but can they wholesale it, to somebody they'd be willing to accept it, a food bank or something. So they'll try numerous of ways to try and sell it before they just say dispose of it, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. But they still, like even though they would have said it was her fault, still got to respect the driver's time.
You do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you still gotta respect the driver's time, man. You can't just you know what I'm saying? Like I understand the situation, but at the same time, they don't pay us by the hour
No, they don't.
to
I
sit
wish they
on stuff
did.
like that. Yeah, they don't pay us like that. So because I mean, crap like that happen on things that wasn't the driver's fault, and they still have to pay with their time. And
Right.
I'm big on that. I feel like that's how drivers make their money, time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get held up different places. That's the difference between getting the next load or having to sit another day.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying, man. I like her and what I'm saying, her intentions. I just hate she didn't have enough time to go to the households that actually need it because I know, what I'm saying, you get away some free folks come like roaches and ants, man. They don't even be needing it. They just, what I'm saying. But
Hey,
some people around us like that. We can't call their name, but we know toilet paper, no, paper towel people.
you right.
Yeah, yeah. Just in case y'all don't know what I'm talking about all these crazy people who bought up all their paper towel during the pandemic like it
And
was food.
sanitizer and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, people like that, in my opinion, man, they some selfish people. Like, I ain't understood to this day what paper towel do for the pandemic for COVID. I ain't got that yet.
Right. Yeah.
That that just over my head right there.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Bless
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I missed the memo on that. Like, cause
you. Yeah.
tissue and paper towel and sanitizer, you know.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, yeah, So, but go ahead though. I was just touching on that.
Yeah. So that, with her giving everything away and her being faced with the claim, and I'm sure she will give us an update, later on, just exactly how that went with the claim and all that stuff. But
She kind of
I,
gave me the impression she was dropping it right there. That's the
yeah,
impression I got. You know what I'm saying? You
I'm
probably
a
ain't gonna
part
hear
of
nothing else about it. She's just letting you know that hey, this what happened, and I'm on to a new journey now.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Could have been. I don't know. kind of felt like it was more more to
Mm.
it, but she probably gonna leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? That was probably her because, like you said, it's been about a year, or it happened last year
Well,
sometime.
she's
You
in the
know,
clear now.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You know, she posted 3 videos about it. 2 of them was like last year.
okay,
And that was at the beginning when all of it was going down.
right,
And this right here was just an update. Basically, she was just letting her subscribers and followers know what happened. You know, yeah.
yeah. And so, one of the things I wanted to give, to some tips I wanted to give
Please,
uh
please,
to some
yeah,
of the
yeah,
owner
please.
operators, or not even just owner operators, to anyone who a driver of the
Especially
owner
about them
operators.
reefers. Yeah,
Yeah.
please
So
do.
here's one of the tips was remote monitoring. Now, remote monitoring, this is pretty much software that most a lot of your companies, a lot of your carriers already carry this. Your primes, your larger trucking companies who do refrigerated, they have the monitoring that they can control everything from their laptop. But they also have that option. Thermo King has that option where you can purchase something to the software to control your the settings, and you can control the up, well, not the ups and the downs, but you can control the temperature settings just from a remote location, and therefore you can always monitor your load. you know
Mm.
um you also have, let's see, the second one that I had was the downloadable temp recorder. Now that's something that a lot of those locations, if you're doing produce, any pretty much any expensive load that you haul will have a temp recorder that the shipper is going to place in the back, and generally they're going to have it on your bills, and they'll have you sign off on it that they put a temp recorder. But you can also have a
Okay,
downloadable.
that's not an app.
That's not an app. Now,
Uh,
the downloadable temp recorder, most of your modern reefers have them. So all of your newer reefers have them. I don't have the year range, and I had an older reefer unit, an '07. I didn't have this feature, but it has a downloadable temp recorder. So basically, what it is, when you get ready to pick that load up, you can press a record on there to where it keeps a record of your temp throughout your whole trip,
mm,
from start to finish. So if you're faced with a claim from the receiver and they say, no, this is saying this, you were 20 degrees off. Well, I'm gonna download this and print it off
right,
and give it to you. And this right here, and this is a computer. This is showing that I was within 5 degrees, or I was within 10 degrees. I was within the range that I needed to be to haul this load.
right, exactly.
So that's something I would recommend, that a lot of guys make sure, get you a downloadable, make sure that your unit is equipped with a downloadable temp recorder, and if it is, make sure you're using it on every load that requires that. That's something that's going to help out in your case with just your documentation, having the proper documentation to fight a claim.
Right.
you know the next one that I had available was there's, if you didn't have access to remote monitoring, because the remote monitoring can be expensive, that's a subscription. That might be an extra 35 $50 a month on the low end. I've seen them, they go up into the hundreds of dollars. you
Mhm.
know
Yeah.
if you didn't have a downloadable temp recorder, even if you did have a downloadable temp recorder, this other option, the indoor outdoor digital thermometer. Now, this is real cheap. It's like 17 bucks. You can buy this at Walmart. You can buy at Home Depot, but just a thermometer. You have a receiver and you have a small monitor, and you can take that receiver and put it in the nose, usually in the corner of that reefer, and you can either get you some find some type of adhesive that will basically stand those the below zero temperatures and everything.
And when
But
you say
what you
receiver, what are you talking about? That's a separate device that you keep with you?
Yeah,
Once you
so
put
you
the thermometer inside the trailer.
you got a
Okay.
thermometer you have in there, and then you have a little monitor. It just takes two AA batteries, and you got the monitor that you keeps with you. Now, with that monitor, you're able to monitor your temperature throughout your whole trip while you
Okay.
drive. While you're asleep, you instead of you generally, if you don't have the remote monitoring and everything, you pretty much got to get out of your truck and get outside and get behind your truck and actually look to see where your temperature is at.
Does
You
it
know,
have like like some kind of like panic alarm on it if
your unit does have a an alarm that comes on.
okay.
So if there's something wrong, excuse me, and the newer the units, and shucks, I had an old unit that still the alarm would go off if there was the slightest thing wrong. My
Yeah.
water,
Yeah,
the
that's
coolant,
good, boy. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Yeah,
yeah,
you
the
got something
coolant was
like
too low.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, the coolant too low. You're gonna get a red light. But also because my unit was old, uh, something could be wrong with mine, and I have a green light. But I still,
Uh-huh.
because you have a green light, yellow light, and a red light. And
Right.
of course, green light means you good. Well, the newer units, the lights are blue. But
Okay.
mine was old. It was green light. And
So the
yeah,
receiver had a oh, you talking about on your
that's
reefer.
on
Oh,
your
okay.
reefer unit.
Right.
Those give off alarms while you're driving to
Right.
let you know, hey, something is wrong.
Right.
And but since I had an older unit, it made me get in the habit so often just to, hey, get out and check, make sure everything is okay. But I came up with that idea when I was driving. I'm like, man, I'm tired of always trying to get up through the night and making sure
Mhm.
my unit is okay. Yeah, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Put
But
that little thermometer in there, and I got the monitor with me inside the cab of the truck. So hey, 2 o'clock in the morning, I turn
right.
over. Let me look at my okay, I'm still within 10.
Right.
And go back to sleep.
But
My
see,
unit
that's
is
gotta
still on.
be see, I ain't never pull reefers like that. And
Uh-huh.
man, that's gotta be hell, man. Sleeping over the road, man, and and that
Uh-huh.
reefer cuts off like that, I can imagine it'd be hard for me to rest. Even if I had
A
something
newer
back
unit.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It'd be hard for me to rest because you're dealing with food, you got so
Mhm.
much on the line right there. And then, when they come to an insurance claim, they trying to get more than what their food is worth. I wouldn't be
Right.
surprised if that claim was based on retail value. What you think?
I'm sure you know what it could be. It's kind of
Yeah.
hard to say how they do that,
Uh,
but I don't know. I guess for me, I enjoyed it because I running over the road at the time when I was running over the road, I was doing drive-in. And
right,
so when I got the reefer and I had access to so much more, and my rates went up.
right,
And
right.
so I didn't mind doing, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
that stuff because I saw extra revenue,
Right,
once I
right,
once I got my reefer. Now I know for a lot of people that could be nerve-wracking,
right.
especially if you used to just, hey, you know, drop and go. Drop
Yeah,
and go and just yeah.
yeah, like with a drive van,
Uh
you can get by on some loads with a little bit of leak,
right.
or something like that. But with a reefer, everything got to be sealed. Everything got to be on point because you got to be FDA approved. Really, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
On a lot
So
of stuff, yeah.
yeah,
Or
what I'm saying?
anything dealing with food, basically. That's
Yeah,
any trailer, so
because you make good money, but you could be cost a lot of money. Obviously, with Miss the trucking diva, I think her name is, went through.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's just one of the things, you can't do the reefer like you can the drive in. You can't just
yeah,
get in and go. It's not a plug and play. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
No, it's not.
You got to take your time to understand, if you have a company you're driving for, well, you got a team that's right
Right,
there helping you out. Listen to your team.
right,
You're confused about anything, ask questions. And you got a whole bunch of other guys on the road that's gonna be in the fuel island on operators. Hey, I got a question about this.
right.
Hopefully somebody can help you out. If you're an owner operator and you decide to get into pulling the reefers and you've never really done it before,
Right.
just take your time, you know, do your due diligence, do your homework, talk to people, and don't be in such a big hurry. With every load, know
Right.
what the temperature is, because when you go to pick up your load from the shipper, they're going to tell you, and is going to have it on the paperwork. Well, first of all, your broker is going to tell you what the temp should be before you
Right.
make it to the shipper, so that you can go ahead and pre-cool your trailer. But your shipper ultimately is going to tell you, this is where we want the load at, and that's what you go by. You
Right.
go by what the shipper tells you what they want, because it's their load, so they know where they want it cooled at, and
Right.
that they'll notate it on the paperwork. That's what you run it at, and that's what you do, and just check keep a monitor on your temp, on your on all the checks on your trailer. Do a pre-trip, because not only do you do a pre-trip around the truck and trailer, but you also have a feature for those who don't know anything about or know much about reefers. You could press a button on the reefer for the pre-trip, and it performs its own pre-trip.
Right.
You know, a 15-point or a 30-point pre-trip inspection on that unit, where it checks
Right.
everything.
Right.
so,
Yeah, you know what I'm
so
saying? So that what the reefer do.
that's what the reefer does. You
So
know,
about 75,000.
uh, you talking about for a newer one?
Yeah. What is
uh,
about
they they
60,000?
they've gone down now. Um, Shucks, over the over the pandemic, they got over 100,000 for just a basic model
Right.
uh refrigerated trailers. It used to be, them big pretty stainless steel
Yeah.
reefer ones with the spread axles. Yeah, those was like 120, 140, back in the day. Now they had got up to almost $200,000. But now everything is a lot cheaper. You can get you a decent one for about 40, 50,000, a good used one.
So it does
Probably.
all that.
Yeah, it does all that.
Okay.
It might be a 16, 17, 18, but you can get you a decent reefer right now if you ain't looking for nothing brand new.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially not with these rates.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to do it with these rates. No.
No, no, sir. You know, you don't want no trash, but with the rates where they
Yeah.
are right now, yeah, I wouldn't get anything brand new.
Yeah. But I think with the trucking diva, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause like I said, I've been following her content, you know. I'm kind of curious if she even been through anything like that though. But she usually move kind of careful. Like she didn't ever come off to me as like being careless. I mean,
Yeah,
because I think
reckless and stuff. Yeah.
because I think her and her husband, I think they was also running a dispatch service too. I think she was like built with frustration.
Yeah.
Cause that 4 weeks off, man, if that's where your
Oh man,
livelihood at, that's a lot, and bills steady
it is.
rolling in, and then you get out on the road. I mean, remember that time when you kind of like took a break from it? You remember what you had dealt with that
Oh,
radiator?
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That does seem kind of similar. Her was more like on a detrimental scale, if you will, but it was
yeah.
the same scenario. It was like one thing after another. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Like,
Right.
damn, when it's gonna give, man. I'm trying to catch up. You know what I mean? And you know,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's
But
just
hey,
unfortunate.
I'm glad she, posted the video showing where she's at right now, and just giving that update on that to
Yeah, that hurt
basically.
her though. That hurt
Yeah.
her though,
Yeah.
man. That really hurt her, man, because she was like really like a trucker. You know what I'm saying? That's how
Yeah.
she viewed herself, a trucker.
Yeah, because she had authority for, I think, for like 5 years prior to this incident
Yeah.
happening. Yeah, so she knew what she was doing.
Yeah,
She
exactly.
been in that long. Had, she knew what she was doing.
Yeah, yeah, man. I hate that for her.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's pretty much all thing I had to present
Right.
on her story. It's an encouraging, heartfelt story, something that I hope that all our listeners and viewers can relate to. Hopefully from
Right.
her story, her experience, and some of the tips that we gave and us just talking about it brings awareness to, if even if you've been doing this 20 years, it brings you some awareness to say, you know what? I can't be complacent. I
Right,
got to
right,
stay on top of everything. I'm brand new to this. That lets me know I need to do more training. If you're brand
right,
new, I
right,
need to ask more questions. I need to make sure I'm staying vigilant so that I don't get a claim for something. You know.
right. Right. And also the link to her video will be in the description. So
Okay.
yeah, so you'll be able to check her out, you know what I'm saying, check out the full video,
Right.
because those were just clips that we had. But yeah, you'll be able to check out the full video.
Yeah, so yeah, we just want you guys to make sure you guys like our videos, subscribe, share, tell somebody about us. We trying to put out good content, good positive content that hopefully it would inspire you guys to be just better people, better drivers, and we just hope that you guys enjoy what we had to present for you guys on tonight.
Yep.
Thank you guys for joining us.